South Sydney Rabbitoh. He's back.
He is back, isn't he?
He's back.
Isn't it amazing? And I find it a little puzzling, actually, that it needed Bennett to come back for the whole club to seemingly get itself sorted and get fit. They're all fit as a fiddle.
Well, we were predicted that. Naturally, Bennett's coming back. I've got to get fit. Well,
why weren't they fit last year?
That's the good question. That's the big question. This is another one last year. Their season fell away. They finished in second last position. Had a terrible start to the year. Did a little bit of a mid-season lift, but they only won 7 games. Conceded 682 points. So defensively, they've got to come to terms with that, and that's Bennett's strength. He won't allow that to happen again. South Sydney this year, they got over 2,400 games in NRL experience. They're one of the top 4 or 5 sides in that regard. And last year they had 2,600, so they've actually gone backwards a little bit. They've actually been in the top 4 or 5 sides for NRL experience, so they can't blame that. They've got the coach now, and
they've turned over a stack of players as well.
Yeah, the issue will be, I guess, how the Englishman goes at halfback. So in the player market, it's been strange the way they've sort of recruited. It's Ewan Aiken from the Dolphins, who's sort of
He's a Bennett favourite.
He's a Bennett favourite. He played for him up there. Lewis Dodd is the interesting one from St Helens. So he's a high-price purchase from the UK Super League as a halfback. Lachlan Hunter, Hubner from the Dolphins. I know Jamie Humphreys from Manly. Good little player, Jamie. He's bounced between 7 and 9 in the lower grades, and they saw some utility value there. John Schuster, who's Josh Schuster, sorry.
John's a bit past it.
Yeah, and Jaden Sullivan. So he's kind of gone out and bought in Jamie Humphreys and Schuster and Sullivan. He's bought some playmaker backup. Katie Walker's not getting any younger. Jack White and I guess it's a gamble. The UK fellow Lewis Dodd in the halfback role there.
So there's been a bit of mail around, but he's no guarantee to start at halfback.
Nah. Well, he's probably got to prove himself. When you look at what they've lost, like Thomas Burgess, Michael Cheekham, Damien Cook, Jacob Gagai, Dean Hawkins, Lachlan Ilias, Tane Milne, Isaac Thompson. So some experience there and some really good utility value there. They've got some younger players coming through that we probably haven't seen yet. They're performing a little better in the academy programs, but defensively, I think Bennett that's where he'll be making his big thing there. And defence comes from ball control and where you're giving the ball back to the opposition team. So it'll be a usual Bennett type transformation there in their method of football. He'll just have them playing very simply. Bennett teams are always hard to beat. They're always fit. They always play for 80 minutes. They're always hard to beat. Then you've got the X factors of Cody Walker and Latrell Mitchell that can win you games when you need them most. But a fall from grace last year, that's got to be... and I guess why the move, why they sacked their coach and why they brought Wayne Bennett back is to kind of arrest that.
What's Mitchell going to produce under Bennett?
Well, by all reports, he's fitter than he's ever been. He's ready to go. But, Latrell's superior. Latrell's one of the superior scoreboard influences in the game. Like, he's a magnificent player when Latrell's on, when Latrell wants to play, when he's ready. So it's a good sign that he's got himself fit and well. Remains to be seen now what he produces for the rest of the season. So they need him desperately. They really do. They need him, and hopefully the halfback situation works out for them. But 16th position is not where we predicted them last year, and I wouldn't think they'll be that low again this year. Bennett's sides don't perform like that, so we can only see improvement for the Rabbitoh.
What would you be expecting to see from Josh Schuster? Do you think he'll feature much in the NRL?
Well, I hope so. I hope for his own personal development, just for his own life that he does. Josh has had some challenges in life, and I don't know whether football's been an asset to him or a hindrance to him. And I guess he needs to work out whether or not football is a solution for him or not, whether it's actually a passion for him and he really wants to do it. And if you know Josh's past, that's not an easy question to answer. He plays football because he's talented, but whether or not he needs football is another question. That's a conversation you can only have with him. But there's no doubting his football talent. And if he's looking for a mentor in life, not just football, then Wayne Bennett is obviously someone who can help him. I hope he does. I hope he gets fit and well. I hope he enjoys his rugby league, and I hope he finds a passion for it, because I think it'll be important to his development as a man into the future. And I wish him well with it. But he's not there to save the Rabbitohs. The Rabbitohs are there to save him.
Bennett doesn't often miss the finals, Gus.
No, he doesn't. But he's got plenty of experience in that side. It's not as though that's a young, inexperienced team that aren't ready for NRL, the battles of NRL. He's got plenty of experienced players there. I mean, Kalama, Tungi and these fellas are really good players. Cam Murray. Campbell Graham, what's happened there? He's had another hand injury, but they said he'll be back. He didn't play all last year.
Yeah, he was huge.
And he'll be back. I think they said he'll be back for round 1. He's had a little hand injury during the off-season. They've certainly got the talent. And everything's about momentum. Everything's about getting off to a good start, finding some rhythm and momentum, keeping the same team every week so they've got familiarity, and then momentum and confidence builds. Bennett's a master at building confidence and building momentum and building team spirit and building defensive systems that work. And they need all of those things to happen for them, because that's where it all fell apart last year. And, every now and then a club goes through something like that, but you need to bounce out of that quickly, and that's why Bennett's there.
They'll be in the 8.
Rabbitoh in the 8?
Rabbitoh in the 8.
Really?
Yep.
It's been proving to do that.